Hello, rock stars. Yes, I am talking to you. You're taking the time to watch this video, which means that you are trying to do more for a child through music, whether it's your own child or whether it's, a child in your daycare program, preschool, home daycare. Doesn't really matter. You're still a rock star because you're taking the time to learn a little bit more. This Monday Music Minute goes along with our Facebook Live for Kids that I had done today, just a few minutes ago. Today we did the Jack Be Nimble song. We did the head, shoulders, knees, and toes, make up your own song. And then we did the hair book. It went about 25 minutes. And my 5-year old and 7-year old were fully engaged the entire time, which is a feat, okay? So I wanted to kind of go through what we did and why it's important. The first thing that I want to point out is several times during this Facebook Live video, I unintentionally injured a child. Not seriously, but I stepped on Joey's toes and I kind of moved his blanket and it made him clonk his head on the ground. And the important part is that I said, I'm sorry. And that's so important when you're working with children, is that they won't learn how to say I'm sorry unless it's modeled for them. And so I try to do that all the time. Just model for my kids how to say I'm sorry, when to say I'm sorry, and if I'm truly sorry, what that looks like. And then I never force them to say I'm sorry. They usually do it because they know how to do it from watching me. So if it's not something that you practice in your classroom or at home with your own kids, I really urge you to find those moments to apologize, so they know that adults aren't perfect and make mistakes too. So they learn how to say they're sorry, and it makes you a little bit more relatable. A lot of times kids do think that adults never make mistakes because we don't usually admit to them. So saying I'm sorry is a really great way to show them that you're human, and it'll help your kids in the long run talk to you more. So we did a ton of stuff in this Monday Music Minute. This is a really nice picture of music therapy, and how nicely that goes into any program, whether it's a typical preschool or an integrated preschool or any sort of learning environment. Music therapy benefits every child, no matter what their ability. It's just, you can do so much with that. So today we learned how to do a little song about waiting, because waiting isn't easy. So the song goes, wait, wait, it's so hard to wait, 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 it's so hard to wait. And as an adult, we're acknowledging that waiting isn't easy, and that it's something that everybody just kind of doesn't like to do, right? And then also, it's a little tool for you in your classroom or at home, that when you're kind of spinning and that your kids are waiting on something and things are hard, sing the song. And that kind of leads me into Joey, my little roll around baby boy there, who's 5.5, and he does not like to learn in the typical fashion. And he wasn't really listening to much of my instructions when I spoke the instructions, but when I sang the instructions, he was like putty in my hand. So if this is not something that you practice at home or in your classroom, I urge you to try that. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to sound like you're about to win a Grammy. It doesn't have to rhyme, but when you sing something and you make it fun, they're more likely to do it. So, so for our Jack Be Nimble song, we did a lot of fun things. We kind of did some fine motor skills, because we took that piece of paper and they had to listen to instructions to fold it in half, and then use scissors to cut out on those lines, and then they needed to draw their letters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I had more time as a parent, I would pause this video and have my son write those letters out, because that's a skill that he's working on in kindergarten. Abby was all about it. She wanted to do it, but if it were me watching that video, I would have paused and I would have them both do it. And work on it together. And I'd probably sing right along a scissors cutting song, but I just didn't have all day to kind of make a scissor cutting song on there. I didn't want to lose everybody. So, but I try to adapt it for each learning style. So we have the writing of the numbers, and then we have the fine motor skill of cutting with scissors. This is a big deal in preschool and kindergarten. And then we had to put them out in order. So from there on out, that's where my son got more motivated because he saw this gross motor activity. And so he wanted to jump along, and then he was listening and counting and moving the stick along with us. This will make a lot more sense after you've watched the video. So hopefully you watched the video. And then we're also working on this cooperative play because they're taking turns. But they're doing it in a fun way. Like neither of them said, no, I want to go again, because they knew that the song was going to continue and they were going to have another turn. So this is a great way to practice those social skills of taking turns. That's a big deal for kids that age. They don't like to take turns. They just want to keep doing it themselves. But when we do it in this way, it's using music. It's fun. So after that, we did the make up your own song for Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes. Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes is kind of one of those difficult songs for preschoolers, even though it's made for preschoolers, because it's so fast. It's head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees, and toes. And a lot of times you'll see the outliers, the children who can't do that skill, they'll just quit. So if you adapt to those children and slow it down, you can also adapt it up for your children who have other skills like Abby. So what we did is Abby came up with rhyme words and wrote them down for what rhymes with head, what rhymes with chin. You can do this over and over again using different body parts, and also you could do it with action words. So we could have done spin, and we could have done jump, and she would have to come up with rhyme words for that. And then I mixed them up so that way she could match those words. And that's actually something that they do in first and second grade. It's called a speed sort, where she has to identify which words sound the same. So this is something that works for second graders, and then it works for Joey, who's 5, because he's having a blast just finding those body parts and waiting and listening and following multi-step directives. After that, we did deep breaths, which is really important. It's a great coping skill to learn. The more that you do that throughout your day, the more you'll see your children adopt it. And I've seen, especially with Joey, that the more that we do that, if he's frustrated about something, he goes back to his breath. Not because I told him to, but because it's muscle memory, because he's used to doing that. And he'll start taking deep breaths and calming down on his own. So it's a really great tool. And then we just finished up with the hair book, which is super fun because it's a rhyme book. So any book that you have in your home or in your daycare, preschool, that rhymes, you can make a song out of it. So you can take any song, Twinkle, Twinkle, Row, Row, Row Your Boat, Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes. Let's see. Yeah, You Are My Sunshine. Any tune that you know that you could sing or hum yourself, you could just sing it with the words in the book. I made an additional repetitive phrase of hair, hair, it's everywhere. I see hair everywhere. And then we repeated it. And that's to keep the kids engaged who have a little bit less of an attention span. If they know that there's something that they can grasp onto and sing and pat their knees to, then it's going to keep them engaged in the book. My son doesn't really love the whole reading thing. We read to him every single night and multiple times during the day, but that's just not what he goes towards. He loves gross motor stuff. He likes to jump. He likes to roll. He likes to race as fast as he can across the yard. That's his thing. But when we do a book song, he's attending to a book And again, it's muscle memory because now books are less threatening to him. He's not seeing that book as this thing where he has to go and look at the words and start sounding things out. So it's just a fun way to mix things up to keep kids engaged is with a book song. I hope that you saw during the video ways to adapt your learning at home, especially if you have multiple kids of different ages, because there are ways that keeps them both engaged. It takes a little bit of planning. And here at Bloom, we're totally happy to help you with that planning. If you have two kids with different ages, maybe there's even a larger gap, and you send us a message about this is what we're trying to work on, we will help you. We're here for you, because it's not easy to shift from one child and then the next child calls over here and then the other child sees, oh, well, now they're getting attention, let me call them back here. It doesn't work for anyone. It makes the parents frustrated, and it makes the kids frustrated. So if you need help, we're here for you. Right at the end, I encouraged Abby to grab her guitar and play along with me. That's a guitar that she got, I think, for Christmas when she was 2. But she uses it for guitar lessons now. So if you have an instrument at home, a guitar, a ukulele, a keyboard, a violin, and you want your child to learn in a different way, we encourage you to check out our whole child music lessons. It's a lot like what you just saw, except for it focuses on an instrument. So it's not your typical pay attention thing. I know my piano teacher, when I took piano, it was traditional. It was, here's the book, here's your finger position, this is the way that I teach, therefore this is the way that you learn. That is not how we do it at Bloom. We teach the way your child learns. So if they want to learn the guitar, there's going to be dancing, there's going to be rhythm, and they will learn the guitar by doing things like this. Let's count 1. Woo! Well, hello there. All right. By counting 1, 2, 3. So this is your third finger in guitar, and we're going to place it on the 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3. And they play it, and now they can start playing a song. So we can understand that kids are motivated to play, and they're going to lose interest if they can't figure that out right away. But a lot of learning happens in between it all. So if you want more information, we encourage you to reach out to us at info@bloomcreativearts.com. Or you can go ahead and call our office, 716-422-0070. If we don't pick up right away, I promise you I will call you back and I will tell you all about our whole child music lessons, our Buddy Beats program, where 2 friends can Zoom call with a music therapist and learn together, or our online rock band, where we can have up to 5 little rockers learning and singing and creating songs together. So until next week, I hope that you guys all rock on, rock this week. Looks like we have a couple days of good weather up here in New York. And again, if you need anything, we are here for you. So rock on.